economy changed, or somebody somewhere decided that I'm not doing work with your country, and all of a sudden everything in your sales pipeline just disappears like that. Have you been there? I know so many people, including myself, who experienced something very similar. You have to rejig. What do you do next? Well, this week we're going to talk about what you can do to not just rebound, to thrive and be the ultimate manifester. Because guess what? Someone can try to stop your flow, or as I say, try to take that money from your bag, and we don't let that happen here. So as always, we're gonna go through 3 quick questions and 3 tips that you can use to make sure that you stay on track. Hello and welcome back. And always, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tash Jeffries, the founder of Money Engine, also known as Tash Money. But today I had an awesome session with office hours with my founders, and they learned my other nickname, which is the Hammer. So we're gonna go right into it with questions that you can ask yourself if you are to be in that situation. This is life, it's gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but when it does, you'll get through it. Question 1, are people willing to pay you for the skills you have and what you know? The truth of the matter is as long as you have a skill that people are willing to come, even if they're willing to come and test you out, see how you work, see what you're up to, you can book office hours, meetings, whatever it is, and people are willing to hear you out, then you have something that is worth paying for. If that is the case, it may take some work. You might have to reshift. We're going to talk about that shortly, but it means that you're onto something. Why leave money on the table? Just go for it. The second question is, now this is going to be an intense one. What is your secret sauce? I also call it your ninja talent. I love doing posts on LinkedIn about it because it's so true. What is that one thing that you are known for that you do better than anybody else? Even better, what is that thing that you are able to be that you do better than anybody else? I can tell you, I meet perfect strangers and they'll come up to me and be like, Tash, your energy. So guess what? I bring it. I bring it with my office hours in everything that I do. I'm always showing up and vibrant. But that also comes from your ability, I'm going to tie it back into wellness, as you know that I do, your ability to embrace your holistic well-being. It takes lots of work to be able to be always on point, to shut out all the negative stuff that is usually everywhere outside of you, but bring back to yourself and for you to highlight what you do very best. Positivity, optimism, all of those things are so attached with your unique skill. How are you able to move forward no matter what the world throws at you, baby? This is called resilience. But what is your unique skill, and how can you package it up in a way where it is hard to miss and hard for people to walk by from it? And the last tip, which is super important, which is why I love this day and age that we're in, is how can you use AI and automate tools to do more of what you love and less of what you don't? Listen, clearing out your inbox and setting up administrative systems and creating standards of operation for your work, for your app, for anything you're doing, it kind of sucks. But we live in a day where you can automate these things so that you can get more time to be with people, to play, to be creative, to create new things. You can find the time. Honestly, don't come to me with no excuse you can't do it. Even for someone like me who's not a big administrative rule checklist kind of person, even I can figure out enough to be able to ship everything that I need to get out 80% and it's out the door. So how can you use the AI tools that are actually going to help you move forward? I will list some of my favorite ones down below because there are a few that I could not live without, including ChatGPT, Lovable, and my favorite one for these videos is CapCut. So how can you use these tools to be able to automate what you're doing, and so that you can put more of yourself into what you're creating and bringing to the world? Now we're on to the tips here. It is super important, before we do anything else, it's to get you to go back to your why. There is a why you're doing it. There is something that you do better, that you're passionate about, that you're committed to seeing until the very end. And guess what? There really is no end. There's only about growth and development and expansion of an idea. But what is it that you are so passionate about, that you don't need money for, that you do it anyway, that you just show up and be your best self and put your all into it? If you know what your why is, I know what mine is. I love working with founders all over the planet and helping them bring their ideas to life so that they can create sustainable businesses. Very simple. It's not very fluffy because I don't like fluff, but it's straightforward. You get what it is. What is yours? It is important that you ask yourself this question before you do anything else, because it means everything you create will flow from there and have a lot of ease and a lot of fulfillment built right in. Tip number 2, create something new. Listen, I can tell you, I have had to reinvent myself so many times over my lifetime. And there's nothing that feels better than when you create something new from the ground up, but with really good energy, which is why I talked about going back to your why first. Once you know your why and you start to create something, the energy around it is just, it's magnetic. You will naturally start to pull people towards you. But the days of being able to just package something up, be one and done, they're gone. We got too much AI and automation. Have you seen people create full-length movies with 0 real people in them? That's what we up against. So it means that we have to get really good at being okay with creating on the fly, creating new things, doing things that don't scale, but most importantly, making sure that our energy is literally tied into everything that we're creating, because that's what's going to help us move forward. We have a why, and it's creating everything that we're doing. So don't be afraid to start new. We have so many tools that can help you. Just do it. Create something new and just be in flow and be your best self. This one, by all estimation, is one of the hardest tips, but it's super important to create something that will move as fast as you will. And that is being able to experiment and still not be attached to outcomes. Okay, you're saying, how does that work? Yes, with experiments, you test things to see if you can hit the threshold to see whether or not something works or something doesn't. It means you have to predict an outcome, i.e., I'm gonna run an ad this week. We're gonna spend $50 on it, and the goal is to create $1,000 in revenue. Well, you can run that experiment, and depending, do you hit the 1,000? Do you hit 500? Did you at least make back your $50? There are different thresholds, but you have a prediction and you have what you think is going to happen, right? However, your goal is to not get too attached to the outcome. So you make 1,000, fantastic, it's great. Take your W, walk away. How do you now do something even better? How do you reach more people if you make no money? Okay, that doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that experiment didn't work. What can you try again so that you can at least be able to have a successful experiment the next time? And you keep going. This is not the time for you to go softly into the night. You keep going until you find what works for you. The goal is to not beat yourself up too hard when things don't work out. That's why it's an experiment. Experiment your way to success. It is one of the mantras that I tell my founders all the time, because this is how you're going to get used to experiencing things, testing things, trying things. Ultimately, that's the name of the game. I mean, I know I make it sound simplistic, but it kind of is. So experiment and get detached from what actually is going to happen and just let it happen. Well, we made it through the tips, we made it through the questions, and I hope you're feeling more at ease about what you're gonna do next. If you end up creating something, please let me know in the comments below. Yes, I do read things. This is not just me talking at you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking with you, and I would love to help you build what you're building. So this is my invitation for you to actually click the link below where you can actually do a free assessment. Yes, free? Ain't nothing free these days, but this surely is. Where you can come in and you can actually start to see if you have something already that you're cooking up that is money engine worthy. And on that note, thank you as always for coming by, stopping through, and hope to see you again next week.